What's up, guys? Welcome back to the farm. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. We're back at it here, finishing our electric fence up for our new sheep pasture. And if all goes as planned, which we'll see about that, hopefully we can get these animals moved over today. So let's see what we got. Okay, we got the fence connected all the way around, and the reason we're actually bringing them in here, you can see behind me, it's pretty much overgrown. There's not a lot of grass in here, but it's more about preserving our current pasture right now than it is getting them onto new pasture. Of course, there naturally will be some like grasses, some dead stuff that the sheep are going to graze through, but again, we got to preserve our other pasture. We don't want to overgraze. That's when you get into a bad situation. So we do have a thin sliver right here. The grass is okay considering it's this late in December. I have my suspicion that they might be over here in the Christmas trees, but we'll do our best to navigate them over to this side. So basically what we're going to do to separate the sheep from the Christmas trees here, we'll just run some rolls of electric netting right up, tie them into our high tensile, and then basically they're going to come down, tie into our woven wire here. Well, I wouldn't say tie in, obviously, that's metal, that's not going to go well, but basically butt up against, and then our sheep are going to have this entire area on this side. You can go down in the woods here, a little bit more, I guess you'd say, protection from the weather. That's if we ever do get snow. Last year we only had a couple inches through the whole winter, and so far through the end of December, nothing as well. So we'll see what we can do, and let's get at it. So most important part, let's get a test on our fence and see what we read here. We actually we were at 8,800 2 days ago, Christmas Eve that was. So let's see. Nothing here. So didn't go exactly as planned, but we're gonna walk the perimeter, make sure our connection points are the way they're supposed to be. Obviously when you put a gate in and you kind of dig under, there's a decent chance that it's right here at the gate. So we checked both sides to make sure, but this side that should have been energized wasn't as well. So now we'll hit another connection point up at the top, make sure that has a charge all the way through. And if it does, well, then it's somewhere in between. So kind of process of elimination at this point, but we'll get it there. So as he's checking the fence up at the top here, again, I want to circle back to the fact that the sheep are not coming in here for food. I mean, see behind me, this is all overgrown. I mean, this is the worst of it where I stand. I'm kind of down at the bottom of a valley here, but we're going to get them in here for protection. We're going to get them in, preserve our other pasture, and then we will start hay feeding in here as well. Now, sheep will pick through this stuff a little more, so it will be interesting to see what they actually do. I actually think next spring they're really going to enjoy this area. They also will be right behind the house, so it'll be nice to kind of keep an eye on them as well. When we do get snow on the ground, shouldn't have to trek over as far to kind of check in on them. So a lot of advantages to moving them closer this time of year. And obviously we don't have shelter for them. We haven't used the shelter for our sheep at all. They're not going to need it, and they will find nice little areas in this, nice little pockets in these vines where they're going to bed down. They're going to stay dry, and they're going to do really well in here. But first, we got to get electric in here. I certainly don't know what this means. All right, guys, we got the fence hooked up. We're reading 7,000 volts on the cheap reader. Of course, my reader would break today, but that should be plenty to keep the sheep in. Of course, I can't. Oh, geez. Oh. All right, as I've been saying, we got the fence on, 7,000 volts on the cheap tester. Mine, of course, broke today, but hey, it is what it is. Time to invest in a good one. It'd be more than enough to keep these sheep in. And as you see, we quickly got over here lock them down. It's gonna make our move a lot easier for us. We'll get the netting down here behind us, and then let's move some sheep. So that was our pasture. You can see definitely grazed down further than what we would have liked. We got our netting rolled up, holding a roll. We got a roll on the ground. My dad took a roll up already, and we're gonna move them over. So sheep are down there in the main corral. They're locked in, although they're trying to get out. We'll get this netting set up. We'll get them moved, and the grass is a little less brown on the other side. Obviously, due to the time of the year, you're not gonna have great pasture. We are supplementing with a tiny bit of alfalfa right now, and we will start hay feeding here shortly. Trying to hold off for snow, but we'll see how long we can get out of this side over here. Fence is finally ready. We got the netting up, and we're gonna try to move these sheep. Now, it really shouldn't be this hard, but if you guys have not seen our channel, our ram Bucky, he's definitely he's an aggressive one, so he is not the easiest to work with. We're gonna take a bucket of feed, aka an empty bucket. Guys, sheep really aren't that smart, so I'll play stunt dummy. I'll go leading them on. He'll probably charge me, so hope you guys get some enjoyment out of this. But anyway, you can see the electric netting running along the top here, or I should say running up the hill exactly as planned. We just got to peel back to kind of open a gate up, and then we'll be off to it. Well, that did not go according to plan. So we're gonna take the side-by-side up, try to circle back around and push them forward. Again, guys, sheep, it shouldn't be like this, but when you have a ram like Bucky, who's a bit aggressive, you're not gonna be able to just push them. He's actually he'll stand his ground, and he's gonna wanna fight back. So there's an easy solution to that, and that would be put them in the freezer. We're just not there yet. Our flock isn't big enough yet to this point, so we try to work with them. Turns out sheep, maybe they're a little smarter than I gave them credit for. We were unable to actually get them to follow. We tried to push them along. That obviously didn't work. So we're gonna let them go for a while. There's really no harm here. Really not too concerned. This whole perimeter here, that's all our tensile. They're not going anywhere, but really the job today was to get them from the pasture behind us, prevent the overgrazing like we talked about, and then get them onto a little bit better grass over on this side. So we're gonna see if sheep can be grazed between Christmas trees, because that's where they are right now. And then eventually, I have our electric netting laying here. The goal is for them to come kind of right down and go back here into this grass, and then down into the woods as well. We'll close this off, and that's really where we want them to be. But being that we can't really get in and handle Bucky, that's what we're gonna have to live with for now. I know I'm gonna hear definitely some criticism on this for not being able to handle our sheep, but again, aggressive ram, it's what we have right now, guys. We should really put him in the freezer like I mentioned, and eventually we will. Once we grow a little bit more, once we expand our flock, we'll definitely be moving on from Bucky, hence why we brought in the other ram here. And the sheep, I don't even know where they are right now. I think I can see a head way up top, but they're happily grazing on a little bit better grass here in late December. So that's where we're at. Not exactly what we wanted to turn out and what we wanted to show you guys today, but it is what it is. It is what happens. So we'll let them go a while. We'll let them settle down. Maybe I'll get over here with alfalfa when I get some and lead them in. If not, you can be sure these sheep, they like to move. They'll definitely find their way in here. That is pretty decent grass in there, so they'll find a way. We'll close them off, and that's where they're going to be for the winter. So if you like what we're doing, guys, give us a thumbs up. I know we were kind of all over the place on this one. The fence is working. That is definitely the big win of the day, having our whole perimeter electrified. Definitely at least 7,000 volts. Those cheap testers, they only go up to 7,000. I have no idea why, but on mine the other day I was reading 8,800, which is pretty good. Now obviously mine was broken today, so we couldn't get a good reading, but I'll go ahead, I'll order one up. We'll get a better reading coming here soon. And again, that is definitely something we're happy with, having this entire area fenced in. Gives us a lot of options here for the future, for next season. So until then, we'll let our 6 sheep just kind of run around in here, and we are going to keep you guys updated. I'm curious to see what they do between these Christmas trees. It would be pretty cool if they would just graze down the bands in between, and kind of leave them go. Definitely would be a really interesting experiment. So we'll keep you guys updated on that one. But until next time, guys, if you like what we're doing, as always, give us a thumbs up. You can help us out by subscribing to the channel. Questions, comments below, definitely drop them in there. Happy to hear from you guys. Happy to help where we can. And we will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.